Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sandra's Stenography and Shorthand Dictations, or Sandra Steno for short. Welcome, 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 every single one of you. I just tried to do this stream, and this Jeffrey Macdonald here stream earlier, a few minutes ago. And when I went to look at the video, I noticed that there was no sound. Don't ask me why. So here I am back again, trying to get it done today, because it must be done today. And so, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for coming to the YouTube channel that I got here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And as you could tell, this is going to be Jeffrey Macdonald reading number 16. And if you'd like to follow me with this reading here, you can go to crimearchive.net and follow me there. Also, don't forget to hit the bell for notifications and subscribe to the channel, please, and help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Let me put my ticker on. Where are you? Ticker on. Thank you so much. So everybody knows what I need, and what I need is subs. We're getting close there, people. We are getting really, really close. Oh, let me close YouTube. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know if that was coming out good or not, because I had YouTube open. And when I have YouTube open, I can't have StreamYard open as well. So I hope that everything that you heard, everything I said in the beginning. Like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment, please. I love your comments. Thumbs up the videos if you think I'm doing a good job and you like what I'm doing here. And hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified of new uploads. And also participate in my polls, because guess what? I can do polls now. Ooh. You better stop and tell somebody. Yes, I can do polls now. So I'll be taking polls from you guys, which is what I was trying to say in the last video, but you probably didn't hear me. So that I can know what you guys like, what you guys don't like, what you need, what you don't need, all that good stuff. You can also, if you have any requests, leave it in the comment section of any video, and I will make a episode of it on my podcast. And you can find my podcast, Let's Write Steno, on all of the major podcast distributors. So let's see. We've got like, we've got share, we've got hit the button, we got commenting, and we have subscribing. I think that takes care of the algorithm. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Ready? And 5, 4, 3. Give me 1 second here. I need to figure something out. So I'll be no. 24, 5, 10, 15, 20. So this will be about 20 minutes of reading for you guys. That should be a good practice. And stopping at 4:40. 15, 20. Okay, so I'll stop when my big hand gets on the 9, and we'll be starting at 4:24. So I'll be stopping at 4:45. Okay, if you guys are ready, so am I. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question: how about Colette? Did she have any problems that required the use of any medication from time to time? Answer right. Question: would you tell us just what she was taking or had been taking in that respect? Answer: she had medicine called Bedwetting, which is an anti-nausea medication for pregnancy. And she was using the Benadryl occasionally for sleep. It's not really, it's not a barbiturate sleep medicine. It's an antihistamine, like a cold pill, but it's used for sleep. A lot of pregnant women use it for that because it's safe. Question, apart from her pregnancy, did she have any medical problems? Answer, no. Question, at one time she had used birth control pills? Answer, right. Question, was that discontinued on your advice to her? Answer, right. Question, and what was the reason for that? Answer, she was getting occasional blood clots in her leg, and they were dangerous. So I made her come off the birth controls. Question, had you made any repairs to the house or modifications to the house? Or done anything around the house after you moved into it to make the house more comfortable? Or answer, just some shelving in the closets. Question, and you did that yourself? Answer, right. Question, did you paint the shelves? Answer, did I make them? Question, did you paint them? Answer, I don't know. I don't remember. Question, did Colette paint them? Answer, it's possible. Either one of us could have. Question, what's your recollection? Were the shelves in the closet just bare wood or were they covered with paint? Answer, sir, I don't remember. Question, we have a picture, sort of a candid shot, and I assume you made it. Colette doing some painting. Do you recall that? Answer, yes, that's right. She was painting a bureau, I think behind the house. Question, and where was this bureau? What room did it go into? Answer, one of the children's room. I don't know which. Question, you don't remember whether it was Kimberly or Chris? Answer, I believe it was. I believe it was in Chris's closet. That's the same one, I believe, that we use for toys, and it was just kept in a closet. Question, do you remember buying the paint and some paint brushes? Answer, no, not specifically. No, I probably did. Question, where did you buy such things down there? Answer, usually at the, I guess, I don't know if the paint was from the PX or not. Most of the shopping was done on post. Question, I take it the commissary also sells things like this, doesn't it? Answer, yes, the commissary. Question, so it could have been either the PX or the commissary? Answer, or off post, you know. I don't know. Question, more likely on post because from what I understand, you get a little bit of a better deal. Answer, right. Question, the prices are better on post facilities than outside. Answer, right. Question, what items of particular value did you have in the house? Was anything, I know you had a hi-fi set. Answer, stereo. Question, TV set, color TV? Answer, right. They were relatively new. We had a fairly expensive, I would guess, china cabinet that had some silverware. I don't think there was really any crystal worth much. We had some glasses and things. I didn't have much in the way of jewelry. Colette had several things. One was a ring that I bought her, and one was a ring that was from a relative of hers. But they're not monstrously expensive. Question, what was the ring that you bought her, Dr. Macdonald? Answer, it was a star sapphire. Question, where did you buy that? Answer, from an artist in Greenwich Village. Question, do you remember his name? Answer, no. Question, did you design the mount or did he design it? Answer, he did. Question, was it distinctive? Answer, very. Question, can you describe it generally? Answer, yes. It was a gold ring, but it wasn't just circular. It's hard to describe. But from the side, it was, if you looked at the ring sideways like this, holding the ring up, it wasn't straight up and down. It was this way, open bracket, indicating a crescent shaped closed bracket. And then there was a cup with little fingers coming up holding the star sapphire. Question, was it a natural stone or was it one of these? Answer, no, it was a natural stone or allegedly natural. Question, you mentioned a sort of antique ring, an heirloom ring. What was that? Answer, to tell the truth, I don't know much about that ring. I didn't pay much attention to the jeweler. That was later brought to my attention by my in-laws. It was supposedly a silver ring with some diamond sets in it, a rather wide ring. Question, did Colette wear her jewelry very frequently? Answer, no, not much. Not too much. Just some costume stuff. Earrings, really. That was her main jewelry. Question, have you searched through your photographs to see if there were any photographs that might clearly depict either one of these rings, the sapphire or the antique ring? Answer, we have a photograph from the jeweler on the antique ring we supplied to the Army. Question, where were these items kept? Answer, wherever Colette left them. She did have a jewelry box, but sometimes on top of the bureau, upper drawers, sometimes in the jewelry box. Question, I recall reading in some of the material I've seen that you bought a pony around Christmas time. Answer, that's right. Question, can you tell us about that? Answer, yes. I bought a Shetland pony for the kids. We kept it off post. We went down and fed it every day, twice. It was a surprise for the kids on Christmas. Question, where did you keep the pony? Answer, in a little corral down off Bragg Boulevard, about 3-4 miles from our house. Question, do you remember the name of the man who owned the property where the little corral was? Answer, no. He was a unique guy. He was a retired Army guy, Master Sergeant, and he had a unique shoe shop that was called, as this dirt road that sort of turned into this place. Question, did you build a structure and little shelter of some sort or a fence to contain the pony? Answer, no, a fence was up. I built a little shed. There was a shed there. I just straightened it up a little, added some, well, really just straightened it up. Question, did you have a saddle and bridle? Answer, yes. And question, and the gear that you needed for the pony? Answer, right. That was hung inside the shed. Question, who looked after the pony? You have to groom a pony once in a while to keep him clean and clean out his hooves. Answer, we didn't have him long enough to have to worry about hooves. And we weren't riding him very hard. But we went down and fed him myself. And the man that owned the place, I'm sure, would have given him water or food had we not been around. Question, now, I'm sort of skipping around because of the uncertain schedule that we have. During your growing up period, did you ever live away from home for any extended period of time? Answer, yes, I did. Question, will you tell us about that? Answer, I went to Texas when I was a sophomore in high school. I lived down in Baytown for, I believe it was Thanksgiving to Easter of that year. Question, with whom were you living? Answer, friends of Bob and Marion Stern at the time. I don't know if they were really friends. They were business acquaintances through Humble Oil. They were friends. Question, and the Sterns were friends of your family, I take it? Answer, right. Question, I didn't catch the name. What did you say the name of these friends was? Answer, Jack Andrews. Question, Jack Andrews? Answer, right. Question, was he, you might say, a contemporary of the Sterns and your father? Answer, I believe he was a little younger. He was a young engineer for Humble Oil at the time. My father and Bob were older. Question, did he have a family? Answer, he sure did. Question, a wife and kids? Answer, a wife and a boy, Jack. Question, a boy, Jack? Was he about your age? Answer, same age. That's why I went down. Question, what was the reason for your leaving home and living in Texas for this period of time? Answer, well, we just met them. Jack Andrews was kind of a free-spending type Texan who at least talked big. And he asked me at one time if I would like to come down and meet his son and spend a couple of weeks. So I asked my parents, and they talked it over with Bob and Jack and came back to me and said, if you want to go, fine. And so I left at the end of our football season. Question, well, how about, did you transfer to a school in Texas? Answer, not initially. because I was just going to stay a couple of weeks. But around Christmas time, they asked me to stay. They thought it would be interesting, and I did too. I was having a blast. So I called home or wrote home, and they said sure. So I entered the Robert E. Lee School in Baytown, Texas. Question: were there any family problems between yourself and your family which resulted in your living away from your family for this rather extended period of time? Answer: not that I'm aware of. Question: and after Easter, you came back to Long Island and you resumed going to school? Answer: I came home in time for Easter. That was a big thing. Had a reunion in the train station. Question: Dr. Macdonald, Mr. Siegel mentioned to me when he first talked to me on the telephone several weeks ago that you were consulting with and visiting with a psychiatrist at this time. Can you tell me about that? Answer: you mean right now? Question: no. He told me that you have been taking psychiatric treatment. I think the way he phrased it, in California. Answer: that's not true. What I mean is, you must have misunderstood him. Question: well, perhaps I did misunderstand him. Can you explain to me why he would make a reference to your seeing a psychiatrist in California? Answer: sir, you'll have to ask Mr. Siegel. I'm not seeing a psychiatrist in California, and I'm not aware that he told you that. Question: well, let me ask you. Since you moved to California, have you had the occasion to consult or visit with a psychiatrist on your own behalf? Answer: no. Question: I know you have been asked this question before, and I believe I can anticipate your answer. But I believe the grand jury should have the benefit of hearing your statement. Did you have any problems of any type within your family, specifically between yourself and Colette, regarding anything? Now, I might preface my remarks by saying I have problems with my wife, and I'm sure most of the jurors who are married have occasional problems with their respective spouses. And I'm not asking you this to embarrass you in any way. But I think it's imperative for us to know what problems, if any, you had and what resulted so far as taking care of those problems was concerned. Answer: we didn't have any problems. That, as a matter of fact, has been overlooked in the past. Question: there were no quarrels or disputes? Answer: nothing major. Question: were there any minor quarrels or disputes? Answer: yes, I'm sure there were. Question: did you recall any? Answer: no, quite frankly. Question: well, did Colette complain about such things as spending money without you consulting her as to what you were spending money for? Answer: absolutely not. Question: I complain to my wife when she does that. Answer: absolutely not. Question: you bought the stereo down there, didn't you? Answer: that's right. Question: how much did that cost? Answer: I don't know. It was a package deal with the color TV, and it was on time, like 2 years of payments or something, and the total was $700 or $800 for the two together, stereo and TV. Question: did she get upset about that? Answer: no, she liked it. It was the first time we had nice possessions. Question: so I take it your testimony, your marriage was serene, was calm. There was no problems of any concern? Answer: that's right. Question: that had troubled the still waters of your marriage? Answer: that's right. Question: how about the kids? Any problems with the kids? Answer: absolutely not. Question: in some of the material I saw, it indicated that Colette was somewhat concerned about bedwetting. Would you consider bedwetting a problem? Answer: no. And she didn't consider it a problem either. The only one that considered that a problem was the CID agent. Question: was this something that you discussed with one another? Answer: sure. Question: but these discussions didn't result in any arguments or disputes? Answer: absolutely not. Question: or misunderstanding? Answer: absolutely not. The problem was that Christy still had a bottle at 2.5 years of age, and I thought she should take the bottle away when she goes to sleep. Colette said she didn't mind getting up and getting her a bottle, and that doesn't sound like a very big problem. Question, how about Kimberly? Was she a bedwetter? Answer, no. Question, she had long since outgrown that? Answer, right. Question, I've seen a notation in a notebook, and I think it's Colette's notebook. And the notation indicates that she was contemplating writing to Dear Abby or Ann Landers. Do you know anything about that? Answer, no. But I would presume it's in reference to I don't know if that would be in reference to the bedwetting thing or whether it was in reference to making Christy stay in her own bed at night. Question, did she discuss with you that she was planning to write a letter? Answer, no. To a columnist? Answer, no. I was unaware of that. Question, regarding a personal problem? Answer, no. Question, would you have been offended if she had written such a letter? Answer, no, absolutely not. Question, Dr. Macdonald. I gave you a copy of the statement that was published by Robert Cummings. Answer, John Cummings. Question, John Cummings. And I asked you to review it and inform us today whether there was anything that you felt that should be explained or modified so far as that statement is concerned. Answer. The answer is essentially what I said yesterday. This is not a statement under oath. It's a statement to a reporter for a news story, and I think it should be viewed as such. There are a lot of things in here that now, if I look at it critically, aren't exactly correct, but I don't see what relevancy that has. Question, I see questions which I assume or purport to be verbatim transcripts of questions asked of you by Mr. Cummings. And I see answers which I think purport to the verbatim transcript of responses that you gave to Mr. Cummings in response to his questions. Answer, sir, if you took what was quoted as verbatim in a newspaper, for instance, the Justice Department 6 months ago, stating that this case would never be prosecuted, this is totally irrelevant. A news interview by a news reporter. I mean, I don't mind answering questions on it, but the grand jury should understand that. Question, I'm going to ask you, did he ask you those questions and did you give those answers? Answer, I don't remember each one specifically. I get a general feeling as I read it that it's generally the interview I had with Mr. Cummings. Yes. Question, would you say it is a doctored interview in the sense that it's been changed in any way? Answer, as I remember it, there are things that don't sound like me at all in here. I can't imagine me saying it. I don't know if it's been doctored or if I said it. Do you follow me? Question, yes. Answer, I don't remember stating to Mr. Cummings some of the things that he has me stating. Maybe you can listen to it on the tape. Maybe you should play the whole tape for the grand jury. Question, you don't object to our obtaining the tape from Mr. Cummings, I take it? Answer, that's not my property. That's Mr. Cummings' property. Question, if I were to ask your permission, will you say, quote, it's all right with me to ask Mr. Cummings for the tape, close quote? Answer, it's all right to ask him, but I can't give you his answer. Question, if I were to ask your permission, is that okay? And I understand that. But you have no objection to our requesting it? Answer, no. Question, I noticed on page 7, and I don't want to get into details of this right now. There is a answer, sir. May I say this? If this is going to be discussed, is the grand jury going to see this? I mean, they should see this if we're going to discuss it, as far as I'm concerned. Question, at this point, I just wanted to ask you, did you furnish this drawing that's set forth here on page 7? Answer: no, sir. I believe this was a drawing that was furnished by the news media by Colonel Krywinek, the provost marshal of Fort Bragg. Question: so that doesn't represent your work product in any way? Answer: that's correct. Mr. Warhide, can I just take this minute? You asked me for some material yesterday, and I have this material here for you. I'd just like to say that I think that what I give you, if this is for an investigative grand jury, the grand jury should see it. Question: in due course, the grand jury will see all these things, Dr. Macdonald. You need have no concern about that. Mr. Warhide, Dr. Macdonald has handed to me what I suppose is a memorandum. Witness: it's an official letter filed by Lieutenant Malley to the Army. Mr. Warhide, it's captioned at the top: First Lieutenant Michael J. Malley, 465C 601916 HHC 159th Engineer Corps, APO, San Francisco. Subject: request for investigation. Lieutenant General John J. Tolson, Commanding General, 18th Airborne Corps in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, 28307. It consists of 5 pages, and there's a signature line for Mr. Malley. I'll ask the reporter to mark that as exhibit number 1 of this update. Macdonald, open bracket, Macdonald exhibit number 1, marked for identification, close bracket. Witness: there are the official presentations you asked for. You asked for each of those. This is the information sheet that I have prepared in conjunction with Congressman Lowenstein's request to do so. And this was what was presented to the Justice Department at a news conference. Mr. Warhide, all right, we'll mark this as exhibit 2 of this date. The caption is information sheet in the Macdonald case. The first 2 lines state, quote, the following is a brief summary of events and a statement of aims I desire to achieve, close quote. There's a signature line for Dr. Jeffrey R. Macdonald. It consists of 3 pages. Would you mark this, open bracket, to reporter, close bracket, as grand jury exhibit of this date, Dr. Macdonald, grand jury exhibit 2, open bracket, Macdonald exhibit number 2, marked for identification, close bracket. Witness: this is a letter from Mr. Kassab that he prepared in conjunction with myself, that he delivered, apparently, to every member of Congress and the news media, reference certain allegations that he made as he saw the Article 32 hearing. Mr. Warhide, all right, typed at the top of this exhibit, it states, quote, Alfred G. Kassab, 22 Bonnie Lane, Stony Brook, New York, 11790. Quote, it's addressed to, quote, gentlemen of the Senate and Congress, close quote. Signed by, open quote, Alfred G. Kassab, close quote. And a part of it and attached to it are 10 pages. The first of these 10 pages reads, quote, the Macdonald case. Prosecution or persecution, evidence or theory. And we'll ask that this be marked as Macdonald exhibit 3 of this date. Open bracket, Macdonald exhibit number 3, marked for identification, close bracket. Mr. Warhide, you say you participated in this presentation of that. Witness, only to the extent that we are trying to keep Mr. Kassab informed of what was going on. And then he, on his own, wrote that up. This is apparently a semi-official document that he prepared and gave to the Army. Mr. Warhide, I count 10 pages in this document, and I refer only to the first page. Typed at the top is Alfred G. Kassab, 22, Bonnie Lane, Stony Brook, New York, 11790, close quote. It's in the form of a letter addressed to, quote, Mr. R. Kinley Webster, Deputy General Counsel, Department of the Army, Washington, D.C., 20310, close quote. We'll mark that as Macdonald Exhibit number 4 of this date. Open bracket, Macdonald Exhibit number 4, marked for identification. Close bracket. Witness. That was in reference to your request for any documents that we had prepared. Mr. Warhide, I'll take a look at them as soon as possible for me to do so. And I assure you that these documents will be brought to the attention of the grand jury. Witness, thank you, Mr. Warhide, in an appropriate manner. Witness, thank you. Question, Dr. Macdonald, I have a transcript of a CBS interview of Captain Macdonald given on 11 December 1970. Can you tell us how this interview came about? Answer, no, I cannot. I don't remember which interview you're talking about. Okay, guys. Hopefully I got this video tonight. I know many of you probably wanted to join me, but you were not able to. But don't worry, because I'm going to be posting this on the channel very soon once I do my editing. So, Jeffrey Macdonald, number 16, we are moving forward. If, guys, you are just finding out about this series, and you actually want to follow along, you want to start at the beginning and go back, go to the Q&A playlist on my channel, and you'll be able to find all of the Jeffrey Macdonalds from 1 through 15, including this one, 16, there, once I publish it. Please check out the podcast as well. That would be on Anchor, Let's Write Steno. Check me out on Blogspot as well at Steno Slayers 24/7. And also, if you would like to leave a donation to help me continue to bring you quality dictations, hit the PayPal button on my channel. That's it. Or you can also subscribe to the podcast for 99 cents a month. So, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night. And thank you so much for joining me. And have a great night. And don't forget to participate in the upcoming in the poll that I put on the channel. Please participate in the polls so that I can help you become the best court reporter that you can be. Thanks. Now see you guys at the next broadcast, next video. Love, peace, and Steno!